Hello there. Back again, creating some more fun stuff. Right now, I'm going to be creating a bit of a character I want to do for my own website, for Patch Creative Co.'s website. Now, I need something to represent the murals that we do. So I've got a bit of an idea in my head, but I'm going to play with it and see what I can get. What I really kind of want to do is have like a guy running along with a paintbrush on a wall with a big line sort of running behind it. So that's the concept I'm going to work with. I'm going to see how I go and see whether that's the right way or maybe there's something else to do. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so I'm going to draw this guy here. I'm going to start with this, and what I want to do, so this is how I generally kind of build things out, is shape based. So I want to start with this, and I also want to really kind of like start with this action. So like I said, I want him to be running along, and I'm thinking like in my head he's kind of wearing like overalls, which I think is quite cool, and gloves, like kind of old school Mickey Mouse gloves, which I'll probably make the hands a bit bigger to kind of lean into that style. So if we've got overalls there, and then yeah, this, and then maybe like some boots. So kind of like painter's gear, a little bit Mario sort of vibe. So we'll make sort of, what I want to do is I kind of want to keep the body small, but the hands, feet and head will be bigger. Actually, so I can't do that with the arm, because what I want the other arm to do is to be going behind. So when he's painting with one hand, the other hand will be up like this. So I think realistically he's going to, this is a good tactic sometimes, is to kind of feel it out. A lot of the old animators and illustrators, sort of in the Walt Disney times, used to have like mirrors in front of them, so they could kind of see what their poses should look like. So this is where I'm going with it. Hand a little bit sort of tilted that way, maybe a bit bigger too, maybe down a bit as well. Okay, now the other leg we're going to have coming up like this, and I'll do some adjustments later, but yeah, we'll have the foot coming up like that. I'm going to make that head a bit bigger just so we can kind of get started with that frame in mind. We're going to have the big eyes there, and we'll have a mouth kind of like this, and I think we'll give him like maybe a little hat. So just kind of blocking it out at the moment. That's my goal. I want to make him a little bit small so I've got some room to breathe as I sort of do this trailing arm. Now, if he's holding the paintbrush, maybe like this. So that's his thumb, and then we can have, I want like a big thick kind of paintbrush, and have it curling out to as it sits on the wall like that. That's nice. I want to play with a bit of that sort of cube shape. Now, what I've got to do is a bit of resizing here, because I want a trail of paint to be going along that wall, and we'll kind of, when we get to the next step of refining the lines, we'll kind of work out exactly how that looks. But I feel like that's kind of going there, and then I think he needs a shadow as well. Okay, I'm quite liking this. I think this is it's a nice feeling when you have this idea and the idea comes out, and it doesn't need too much shaping. It kind of makes you feel like, oh cool, I was actually on the right path. So yeah, so winning all around. Great, so we've got that, we've got the eyes and the nose sitting up there. this leg will be in the front. That hand will make a bit bigger. And we're going to have the gloves on, so this hand as well I think could be a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm loving it. Alright, so let's get started on this more refined layer. So dropping the opacity back on that one, and come out like this, and build out the nose first. Try and get the eyes sort of going as quick as possible. Now this is where, and I mean this is a great example of how a mascot can really work for the business as well. So I'm creating this for one section of my business, but there's a whole other sort of way this could actually work within a business as an actual mascot for the business. So it could be like a painting company or something like that. But yeah, you can see where this kind of stuff really fits. Okay, now I'm not doing any sort of big crazy features on him. I'm just kind of keeping him quite simple in how he works. Turning up a few of those lines as I go. Now, you can see this coming together quite nicely actually. I'm pretty happy with this. So, we'll drop the lip in like that. I reckon maybe his ear could be a little bit bigger. Let's do that. That's cool. So I don't like how that bottom lip's sitting. I think what we'll do is we'll just have his mouth sitting like that. Again, one of those little micro decisions of trying to get this to sit better. And what we'll do is we'll kind of have a bit of that lip just kind of sit out there. Yeah, that's looking good. Nice. It's one of those things for me where I just feel like I'm overthinking it and I need to let it go, but sometimes you have to trust that feeling of if something's not right, let's fix that up. I want to give him some black hair, so we'll fill that in now. Great. Okay, cooking along. Let's get this arm up here. Get the sleeve going into the glove. Got to make sure with some things it has to have that kind of you need to have the equal shape with it, so yeah, but equal sort of lines going in the right direction. And again, yeah, it's one of those things you kind of know it when you see it, so I'm just going to do the legs and body first so I can kind of see where I want to go next with the arms. Boots a bit bigger. Same here. Okay, now we'll go up with the arm. Yeah, that's better. So see how this is right here is quite even, with a little bit of a sort of come together in the end, but I think it works quite well. Okay, I'm gonna do a bit of a fist here, and then that can go in there. I'll just take that back a little bit. Okay, we're getting there. So a bit more detail on this one to some of the other videos, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of show like bringing the body into it. So I think a lot of the other ones are very like focused on just the heads. But yeah, this kind of brings that other element into it as well. I think that needs to come down a bit. I always find it amazing, like, even though it's quite a simple illustration, there is so much in the process that needs to happen. And yeah, it takes time. Like anything that's worth doing, really. Yeah, I think this is sitting nicely, so I'll just tidy up a few bits before we jump into this hand, which as an artist I'm getting a little bit of that apprehension about. I'll usually leave that till the last minute. Actually that's one thing I do want to do. Just for a bit of extra detail, you can do things like this, like just add some like stitching into the pants and stuff, and that just gives that extra sort of element of interest in the look of it, which I think can work quite well. Again, like doing the same thing with boots, it's quite cool. Okay. Right, so I think I'll keep going with the arm once I let go of some of this stuff I'm emotionally connected to, apparently. Okay, nice. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so we'll do put that a bit around there. Okay, that went a lot better than I thought it would. That's definitely right. Sometimes you gotta be careful with hands in getting having the thumb on the right side. It can be, it can take a little while to sort of get right, but once you feel it, you kind of know it straight away. But yeah, I do sort of second guess myself sometimes. Yeah, now see, I've done quite a sharp kind of vibe there, which I'm not really liking. I'd probably rather it be a bit more sort of curved. There we go. Oh, that's lovely. That works so much better. And having the three rather than lots of them is nice. Okay. So let's add a bit of detail on the brush. And now I want to make this really straight, so it's got this really lovely sort of clean line. I'm going to curve this, like I said, to show that's where I started painting. And it's a little bit messy, but it works well. Oops. Actually, what we might do with this bit is color that in, and we're gonna actually make that a block color, maybe like a red or a blue or something like that, rather than having it as an outline, because I think that'll work quite well. And then this brush will have to have the same color, but I think what I'll do is I'll kind of put it on the top of the brush. So what I mean by that is, actually no, I know what to do. I will go like this. I'm going to add a line in there, and then we can play with that as well. So let's put this little hover circle here. I'm really happy with that running action too. I think it all looks nice and balanced. Okay, I feel like we're pretty much there with the outlines. Actually, that was a lot faster than I thought it would be. But that's a good problem to have. Okay, cool. So let's remove that. Yeah, I'm digging that. I reckon it works well. I'm going to zoom in on this eye a little bit. Even add it's going to add a bump to the nose, but it doesn't quite work. Cool. Alright, I could add some shadow here. How does that look? Not terrible. Just add it in a few other places and see how it lands. Yeah, no, it's workable. I like that. Okay. Alright, I am pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add in my grey layer. If you've seen me do this before, I will do that now, and yeah, this will be the sort of last step before the color. Color wise, I'm gonna keep it a bit on brand with my Business Patch Creative. So we will keep things pretty tight to that brand, just because it's got to work with the website. So I'm going to do that, and then we can go from there. But look, I love this process, and this is like what I'm showing you. This is how I work on pretty much any project. So it's not, I'm not sort of doing anything differently. This is all pretty much me and how I work. I keep things pretty loose, but also like working towards a goal. So for bigger pieces, there's obviously a lot more in that process to happen, but generally it's the same process, just at different scales. And yeah, I mean, after quite a while of doing this, I find this process does work pretty well, and yeah, it's not something I've had too much issue with. So I'm just cleaning up these sections here. And we'll be ready to add some colour in, which is the fun part. As mentioned, this can take a little while to do, but it's part of the process, and it can actually be quite sort of cathartic, therapeutic to like those colouring books that you do. That you can do where you kind of learn to colour. I think this can have a similar effect. Okay, backing layer's done. Let's add in the colour to this. So I'm thinking let's go with the blue hat, blue overalls, and we might do a red shirt. Now, you might have noticed, you might not have as well, but when I was doing the boots, I've added in the grey. Sorry, I'll try and later show you. But these sections here, I've added in the grey beneath them. The reason for that is that I'm going to do them as white, but I don't want them to be transparent, because depending on what background you put them on, it might not look great. So I want to be able to kind of control that myself. So that's the reasoning for to see the sort of grey backing in that section. Okay. It's nice when the colours all come together quite easily as well. Now I think we'll do the gloves this kind of beigey colour that I have. I quite like this colour for the gloves. So we might actually do the shoes in the same. So just adding that in there. I'll keep the majority of the shoes black. I think that works quite well. Yeah, that's looking lovely. Okay, so let's add a bit of skin tone, and we'll do the eyes and the tongue, and then I'll leave the paint till last, because I think that'll be the fun bit. Okay, looking good, loving it. Okay, so white eyes as always. You gotta watch. There's some bits you'll see just at the bottom of the hat where I've kind of overlapped the skin color to the hat, so you just need to keep an eye on them those bits, so you're not having the wrong color in the wrong place. I'm just fixing up a few of these back bits. All right. does have he's got a bit of Mario vibe, but I think a little bit different as well. Okay, now brush. Let's do the brush the same color as the gloves. That works good. And actually, let's just do the color to here. And just kind of working through it as simplicity. Now, I'm thinking red actually is probably the way we'll go with this one because I like the idea of the red line. And so I'm going to lock this outline layer and then just colour in the red there. But what I do want to do is I want to keep a black line around this section. So what I'll do is just kind of outline that and colour it in a bit closer to it. Okay, oops. Okay, so I do need to tighten up a little bit of stuff here. A bit of red there, a bit of red there. And then I think we're pretty done. I don't know that brush. I think that brush might need a bit of extra colour. I might add a bit of blue onto this section here, just to break it up a bit. It looked a bit too samey. But look, I think that's it. I think that's oh, whoops, missed a bit here. There we go. Yeah, look, I think that's it. I think that looks awesome. Plenty I can work with there. So yeah, so I'll get this guy up onto the website and leave it there. Have a great day. Bye.